Boom. We are now recording.
Okay, I'll stop recording.
No.
Give me a countdown, motherfucker. You don't
No.
just out of the blue say that you're recording.
I'm recording now. Say the line.
I know you think draft leagues are silly, but those who participate in them take them very seriously. The expectation is perfection, and anything less is failure.
You know I low-key agree with this sentiment. I mean, why be content with mediocrity when you can achieve perfection like I did? Sounds like a skill issue to me.
Holy shit, was that Cell?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Double Dip Draft Skull Division. I am White Loaf, coach of the Bayou Belly Bolts, and I am joined today.
It's Aurora, coach of the Hoonsbrook Hunters, not the Hunters, as fucking Cabral put it on the team thingy. And we're looking back at the first week of the matches that were played in Skull Division. Skull. That's right.
Sorry,
Who is that?
All I can think of now is the fucking, like, the Haunters. Fucking, like, Hank Hill.
He spelled Haunters Huuanters.
What? That's fucked up, actually. Hold on.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue like how that happened.
Alright, well, either way, we've got some awesome matches from week one. How about you tell us a little bit about our first match?
Yeah, the first one that we are jumping straight into is the Southtown Sandslashers, coached by Spood, versus the Northern Ninetales, as coached by Firebolt.
Yes, so,
And
oh, go ahead.
immediately looking like at the matchup, we know that Firebolt is running a not so much Hail team as sort of like a Hail core with the Ninetales and the Sandslash, and it's actually pretty threatening to a lot of Spoods as Pokemon here. My lord, articulation. Why do we have two people one letter apart?
That's fine, don't worry. Technically, it's two letters apart. Spood is S-P-O-O-D. Scoots is S... Wait, hold on.
Okay, it's a
S-C-O-O-T. Sorry, the brain farts are contagious. They're a little dicey right now.
Yeah, but the ice is pretty threatening here, especially the Garchomp.
Yes, Garchomp doesn't like it. Thundurus doesn't like it. I do believe Ninetales... Actually, you know what? I'm going to look it up before I lie out my ass. I believe Alolan Ninetales gets Freeze Dry.
It does, yeah. I can tell you that but you don't need to look it up.
Okay, cool. Thank you, God. But, like, even along... Like, aside from the Hail Core, you know, both Zeraora, Ceruledge, and Darkrai, and even, like, Mega Ampharos, all with Aurora Veil support is just a terrifying combination.
Yeah, an interesting question to always like ask yourself at the start of any given match is like which Pokemon is the fastest on this field, because like that can dictate like the flow of battle a little bit. In this case, like Zeraora and Darkrai, I'm pretty sure both outspeed everything on Spood's team.
Yes, but you know who needs speed when you have you know not Aqua Punch, Jet Punch.
Yeah, true. Jet Punch and Priority are things that can put wrinkles in those plans. Plus, like Choice Scarf also exists. But we take a look and see how these two fare. These are both like double dip veterans, have played many seasons, have played each other like a few times as well, I believe.
Yep. You know, Spood getting like a really good lead, getting Grafaiai out, and then immediately going out into Garchomp to just tank a hit real fast. As soon as he sees Ninetales going right back into Grafaiai, and this is one of my favorite plays, you know, on the Aurora Veil, getting that prankster copycat, so you get your very own Aurora Veil.
Yeah, immediate like qualifier for potentially like most heat set for like copying that in that way. Like that's such clever play because he knows that like Firebolt is very likely to bring that core most games.
Yep,
and he played into it here.
Yeah, and you know, bringing that Break to try and get rid of your opponent's stuff. Unfortunately, it does go out into Ceruledge, which does threaten a large amount of Spood's team. But this Houndoom is kind of like custom made to kind of be able to take at least most of the hits. Does wind up having to use up its Chople Berry, and with that, the screens is now gone. But we're also now faster than it.
Yeah, and like that happened perfectly also on the turn that the Aurora Veil came to an end, so the follow-up Flare Blitz was right on cue.
And I like, trying to save Houndoom for now. A nice Poison Jab with mid-ground kind of hits just about everything except for Sandslash.
Yeah, they're both playing like very well with their immunities. A lot of things going into 0 damage currently.
Yep. And then just going, for a lot of, God, I can't remember the word, pivots. There we go.
Yep, and Palafin is now in its big form, which means that from this point forward, that's 160 base attack looking at you.
This is a little unfortunate, getting Ice Beam and then immediately getting Frozen. So Cobalion is, essentially just a wall now, and that's it.
Yeah, and like looking at Spood's team, it is like the main thing that wants to switch into a lot of different moves. Like everything else is like there to apply mostly offensive pressure.
Yeah.
So if this thing goes down and doesn't unfreeze, then we do like Pokemon are going to start dropping on Spood's end.
Yeah. Thankfully we do still have Garchomp, and while it doesn't appreciate, something like Ninetales coming out, or even Sandslash, at the very least, it can very reliably take hits from Zeraora.
Yeah, and calling that switch too, by the way, the Iron Head nailing this thing for a good half of its HP. Yeah, this thing does not unfreeze, unfortunately, so Cobalion ends up dying for only a free switching. But it also actually stalls out the Aurora Veil turns, which Tornadus here will prevent from ever coming back. And now with the Rain Dance, the Slush Rush is also disabled and will not be coming back.
Yes. And then going to Houndoom to just, get that free sack. Also preventing Rapid Spin, which is very nice. And at this point, Palafin gets to just click a funny button.
Yeah, it's not quite just like Palafin clicks funny button, because Ampharos is bulky enough that it can live.
Yeah.
Jet Punch pretty handily.
That's
and
true.
not just Jet Punch, it lives Earthquake.
Yeah.
And kills back.
Ampharos is just so funny how, just thick it is. But at this range now Jet Punch is free. Zeraora will come out and will still just crumple over.
The spike didn't end up making, at least not the last couple of turns, didn't end up making a big difference. But yeah, well played on both ends. I don't feel that there were any real big misplays going on there.
Oh, absolutely not.
Mostly just predicts going right and some team building choices made by Spoods able to overwhelm the game plan Firebolt had set up.
Absolutely. Like I said, the main thing here was just the creativity in using Prankster Copycat, but both players played extremely well. This was honestly a pretty close game for the most part. It is a 3-0. But I think most of Spood's Pokemon were pretty low percent. I think Grafai was the only one, at 88%.
Grafai is the most and doesn't really pressure anything too hard.
So yeah, all in all, this was just a incredible first match.
Incredibly good, incredibly clean. No real big notes on this one.
Yep. Alright, moving on. We are now going to talk about the San Antonio Jolteons versus the Kracked Kricketunes. San Antonio Jolteons being coached by Lysander Wolf, and Kracked Kricketunes being coached by Not Pimp. Not Pimp did participate last season, or was that just the off-season?
Pimp's been around a couple seasons now.
Yeah.
He won the extra cheesy, and from there on has been with us, I'm pretty sure, consistently.
That's right. Yeah. Meanwhile, Lysander Wolf, Sydney Sylveons. Oh, God, I keep doing that. San Antonio Jolteons. They are a new player, at least in this draft league. Why both of the Evolution team names gotta be like right on top of each other? But regardless, looking at their teams, Not Pimp has a pretty scary looking draft, but the main thing, and this is something that I kind of kept in mind for Bisharp, but I didn't really think about for most of the other Pokemon. Aside from Galvantula, well, like literally half of the team has some kind of Defiant or competitive.
Yeah, it's a very interesting setup with 2 Defiant Pokemon and Bisharp and the Ogerpon. That's what that thing's called.
Yep.
And competitive potentially on the Empoleon.
Yeah.
I know Pokemon names. I'm not having a stroke. What are you talking about?
It's been a long work filled day. But yeah, regardless, like having 3 ways to punish, intimidate, or even defog, really, really scary. Especially when you are running webs. Being able to enforce keeping your own webs is just awesome. Meanwhile, Lysander Wolf also has like a pretty threatening team. Metagross is right there, Porygon Z, both of those Pokemon hit really hard. Metagross is a good tank. You've got Umbreon, which is one of the tankiest clerics you can find. Having a free water immunity with Gastrodon is pretty nice, especially when you have to deal with Empoleon here. Not to mention Encantera as well. What do you say we get into it? Yeah?
I would love to get into it.
Alright, let's do it. So, leading off, we do see Umbreon coming out, and then Ogerpon. This is a very free U-turn, which makes a lot of sense, and then going out into Galvantula. Does manage to get up screens and Toxic, but...
just the one screen.
Well, the one screen. Regardless, I think this was just like a really safe lead for Not Pimp. And then I love Well-Baked Body. It's such a funny ability.
Did you know that before the invention of Well-Baked Body and Stamina, people had to run Water Compaction? God, that ability is so garbage, but by comparison.
I know. That is a powerful Sludge Bomb, by the way.
Yeah, Terra Poison Sludge Bomb into that very type. Rough.
Yeah.
That's probably what it said before I died.
And then also a really good Earth Power. This is a strong Gastrodon. I never put much stock into Gastrodon before, but right now it is putting in work. Unfortunately, it does go down
can
to...
apply offensive pressure.
Yeah, I never thought about it, But yeah, unfortunately, Terra Ground Bisharp does kind of put it down with a Terra Blast.
Yeah. Also, this Empoleon is AV as fuck. Holy shit! It takes nothing from that Thunderbolt.
Yeah. And right now, Not Pimp is just laying on extreme pressure with just a lot of bulk and a lot of offensive power behind each of his moves. Being able to take the Ice Punch and then click Knock Off immediately. And then here we get a little preview of things to come.
Yeah, foreshadowing is a literary device often employed by the writer to foretell future events.
Yeah, so we see
Core change, but the only hazard on the field is the webs currently.
Yeah, what's some of that? Is this a misplay? Is this a misclick?
Is this some trick room shenanigans?
Yeah.
No, it's to activate Defiant.
Yeah, it is to boost power even more. I do think this thing is probably... I don't know if it actually has to be Scarfed. Either way, though, this is now just a free 2 superpowers. Pick up 2 KOs. And then we get yet another Defiant boost. And then another Defiant boost.
Yeah, the Intimidate from the Mega is so unfortunate in this case.
Yeah.
And with no setup or support moves, the Sucker Punch finishing off the job.
Yeah, I know. We talked earlier about like most heat sets Dippy for Copycat Aurora Veil. I'm gonna be honest. I think this would be my most heat set. The Sticky Web Defiant shenanigans here.
Yeah, it's a good team strategy. The thing is, it's not like individual set because like Galvantula runs Sticky Web. That's fine. That's not nothing weird.
That is
you
true.
run Core Change on the Bunny. That's completely normal. Defiant is like the perfect normal ability to have on each Pokemon. But putting them all together to intentionally trigger Defiant, like we might have to rename Most Heat set to like Most Heat Play.
Yeah, can I get, like,
or something like that,
can I
because
get,
we got two
most
like
heat
raw
comp?
fucking candidates like this week.
Most
Yeah.
heat compilation. I don't know, or composition.
Yeah, because like it's awesome like not just to see it, but to see it like work as well.
Yeah.
And the sheer offense plus like the bulk that Bisharp now has because Game Freak decided that this thing wasn't stupid enough yet and gave it an evolution. So now it runs a Violite and it's ridiculously bulky.
Yeah, again, I understand why they did it to Annihilate, although even then they kind of overtuned that a little bit. Bisharp didn't need anything, guys. It was fine. It was okay the way it was.
It's fucking, it's strange, it's weird, I don't know.
Yeah. But either way, that is this match, again, like, just really creative. Both players, again, like, played that pretty well. Lysander Wolf actually had, like, a fairly decent start. But once Not Pimp got, like, the ball rolling, it was just so hard to stop his momentum.
Yeah, it came down to like trying to get like a bunch of predictions right, and Lysander just kept on not getting them right. Pim kept swapping in like his immunities, his 4x resistances, and most of the damage just kept being shrugged off while more pressure was applied from Pim's end.
Yeah. All right. Well, shall
All right,
we?
well, moving on to the third match of the week, the hour, the day. It is my friend Koei of the Sydney Sylveons versus the Canadian Clod Squad, as coached by Milo.
Yes.
Yeah, Clod Squad being also like pretty veteran, not just like at our draft league at this point. Milo also plays in the Clodsire Cup, I believe it's called.
That sounds right.
With like Mass and friends. Koei being new to both drafting and like hasn't really played much of Pokemon on like any real level since Gen 5. So there's going to be some growing pains, and we will be seeing some of those growing pains here. But it's a learning experience, and hopefully like by the end of the season we'll have another like future veteran in our hands.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, looking at the team comp, we've got a lot of speed on Koei's side. Dragapult, Mega Absol, both extremely fast. Togekiss usually runs Scarf, from what I remember, but it's also been a while since I've had to deal with a Togekiss, I'm gonna be real. Meanwhile,
it's just Jirachi.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on Milo's side, we've got a lot of bulk. We've got Toxapex, we've got Great Tusk, we've got his sweet Avalugg. Avalugg on my neck. I got a hunchback now. And then, of course, we've got Prankster Shenanigans with Klefki, and Raikou typically, running like those Calm Mind shenanigans as well. But let's get into it. Let's see how they do.
Got a nice opening. Victini in versus Klefki. Like that's a pretty like free V-Create 2 kick to click. This thing and potentially a Flash Fire Armarouge can come in to take it.
But Armarouge most likely probably running weak armor. But at this point we don't know.
Yeah, I do love the attempts to try to trick the Toxapex and make it borderline like useless without any choice in its move after it gets a choice scarf. And this thing is now suddenly very scary. It's also funny that this thing that Togekiss is holding a balloon.
Yeah. But yeah, we now have, a Raikou set up behind Substitute at +2 special attack and +2 special defense. Mega Absol can potentially speed type, but we don't Mega Evolve.
Yeah, Koei not realizing that like at the bottom of the screen is the button she needs to press to actually get the Mega Evolution going. Makes a mistake, doesn't click it. It still would have come down to a speed tie, but like a successful speed tie would have at least like broken that substitute.
Yeah. And now we are just, losing a lot of Pokemon in the Shadow Ball. Breloom does come out. I think bringing out Dragapult initially to break the sub makes sense. But bringing out Victini in that instance, I probably would have waited. But, it's kind of a situation for Calc. But thankfully, we do get a Spore Sleep with Breloom. And we stop the 6-0, at least.
Yeah, it's no 6-0, which, that's, like, if you're like, here, like, for your first time, like, in a long time, then you're happy that you are not just being completely swept with no opposition. And this thing is actually gonna, like, put in some more resistance here as well.
I would say, like, Togekiss actually, like, put in some work, like, early game, we were definitely struggling a fair bit, but, like, in this late game, we're actually, like, doing fairly well. Crazy that did 35%.
Yeah, like the stupid high attack of Great Tusk being run into the Marvel scale boosted defense of a Milotic ends up not doing much, but we do unfortunately get into the situation of Toxapex versus Milotic, which is a wall staring at another wall, neither of which is applying any kind of pressure.
Yeah. So at this point, like, this game does just kind of come down to, stalling out the toxic turns, the poison turns, because it's not badly poison, it's just regular poison. And here we do see a Haze, probably just trying to get, like, some PP stall shenanigans, but then we start losing defense. We start getting a lot of defense drops from Toxapex's Liquidation, and we don't click Haze again.
Yeah, and the Liquidation drops defense again. We're at half defense now. Liquidation goes up. It hits. It lowers defense again. Yeah.
Now, granted, in the long term of everything, it doesn't really matter. Milotic still loses this 1v1. Even if we do get our defense back. It is just a matter of when. But
yeah, it's just a matter of time. Like, even in the worst case scenario that like this thing gets burnt, which by the way, it's been hit with like about 7 skulls and is still not fucking burnt, but did drop 5 defense drops.
Yeah, insane actually. But regardless, the bad luck at this point is kind of more just like salt in the wound, if anything else.
Yeah, like it's the difference between like doing like 5 and 10 damage, which admittedly is doubling the damage, so like that is a problem, but again, like the ultimate outcome is the same. It's just that thankfully we're here shorter now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, like I was saying, Koei definitely had kind of a rocky start. Well, okay, they had a good lead, but after that, it was just unfamiliarity with like certain buttons. Getting prankstered and allowing Raikou to set up, and then just not like mega evolving. But after that, they actually played really, really well.
Yeah, like it definitely like came together. It was so risky clicking Sword Stance with Breloom. I'm not sure on the calculator. It might not kill in one shot if it doesn't. But God, had that thing woken up there, like it would have just continued sweeping like it was, because after that there was nothing else stopping it.
Yeah. But yeah. Anything else for this match?
Yeah, mostly just to like take it in strides, take the knowledge that you have gained and apply it in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on to our final match of Skull Division. We have the Maryland Manectrics, coached by Claire, versus the Golden Gate Gibles, coached by Shamal. Here we have, Team Skull's personal rain team. Pelipper, Archulodon, not Basculegion. What is this thing called? Barrascuda.
Barrett. I was about to say, I'm not sure which Pokemon you're even referring to.
I was thinking Basculegion.
Yeah, no, Basculegion is not here. Basculin's on that team though.
Basculin is on this team, but not this one specifically. It is in this draft though.
Yeah.
And then we've also got, of course, Tornadus as well. And Ludicolo. Cannot sleep on the goat. Mirror B Ludicolo.
We love us some Ludicolo, the best rain sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Claire coming in with functionally no real gimmicks on her end. It's just a lineup of fairly good, if mostly draft Pokemon. Muck is just sort of your all-around, I need something with special defense. Oh, Muck exists. Okay, I guess that's my problem solved.
Yep.
And Avalok, the same thing, but for physical defense.
Yeah. Looking at this matchup, Lantern is huge. Being able to run both Water Absorb or Volt Absorb, you do have to kind of figure out which one it's going to be. It honestly could be either one because we've got obviously a lot of really good rain Pokemon here. A lot of good water Pokemon that love to spam just Liquidation or Surf or Volt Absorb to absorb Archulodon's Electro Shot. Since that's not exactly something you want to deal with either.
Yeah, especially since Claire did not opt to bring a ground type.
But I think without further ado, let's get into it. So we opt to lead off with Diancie against Barrascuda, going for the Protect just to kind of scout out what's going to happen here. And going straight into Archulodon with Hydrapple coming out. Not a favorable matchup, so Claire immediately dips out of there. Does not want to deal with that.
Yep, and this thing eating the Draco Meteor for breakfast, only 40% from a Draco Meteor is from that thing. You'll take that any day.
Yeah, that is honestly respectable. And then Avalok showing, of course, that it has Body Press. Why would you not with a defense stat like that?
It has an attacking stat? What are you talking about?
I said defense stat.
That's propaganda.
Defense stat.
Propaganda.
But yeah, at this point, we're just kind of switching around. Claire not taking a lot of hits, or a lot of damage.
Focus Punch!
But Focus Punch.
Focus Punch.
We love to see it. We don't love to see Electro Shot, though. But we do love to see 34%.
Yeah. And again, did you know that before the invention of Solar, people ran Water Campaign? Got Stamina. It's not
Stamina. That's Stalwart.
Stamina is a ridiculously good ability, especially on something that's already as bulky as this thing is. And Claire trying to bait Shamal into using a Draco Meteor by having the Electric Immune Lantern in.
Yep.
And then hard switching into Diancie to try and get the faster Earth Power off.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because Lantern doesn't really apply any kind of pressure, Shamal opts to take the risk to figure out whether or not it's even Volt Absorb at all. And Claire runs her Diancie headlong into it.
Yep. And then also sacking or opting to go out into Sinestro and losing that as well. So now we are down 2 Pokemon off of a misread, which is just very unfortunate to see. Archulodon is, dead. We do also manage to take out King Gambit with Body Press, but, we are definitely kind of on the back foot now. Ludicolo coming out, threatening things with Ice Beam.
Yeah, it's not... I was gonna say it's not over quite yet, but the combination of Ice Beam and Weather Ball will actually make this Ludicolo be able to hit everything that Claire's team has left without really like risking anything in return.
Yeah, that Ice Beam will pick up that KO. That's that 4 times, super effective. And then Alolan Muck is just so low at this point. And then
the gunk shot missed too.
Yep, more salt in the wound. But hey, that's Pokemon. That's the game we play.
Yeah, it's like much like in the case of the match with Koei, like the RNG didn't matter in that specific case. Like a gunk shot doesn't kill Pelipper ever there, but like it just hurts. Like it tilts you that a little bit extra.
Yeah. But that is gonna end us, with a 4-0 for the Golden Gate Gibles. A pretty big upset, actually. Claire regularly kind of makes playoffs, and Golden Gate Gibles, at least a new-ish player. I think this is their first time joining us for Double Dip, at least, right?
Yeah, it's the first Double Dip time. I'm unsure of the experience that they have prior to this.
Yeah. So immediately, We've had 2 pretty big upsets this first week. Not so much in Skull Division. Skull Division only having the 1 upset. But we had another upset that we're not going to talk about here.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about any other upsets. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it here. But regardless,
if you want to run us down the top side of the current standings, I'll run down the bottom.
Yeah. So. Going from the very top, actually, it is a 3-way tie.
It's a triple tie.
Yeah, it's a 3-way tie for first place right now, with Golden Gate Gibles, Kracked Kricketunes, and Canadian Clod Squad all sitting at 1 victory, with a differential of 4. With our second place being the Southtown Sandslashers, again 1 victory, and having a differential of 3.
Yeah, so that would be 4th place then.
That would be 4th place.
If people if people above you like tie, then they'll just push down the lower number still.
You are correct.
Which means that in 5th place currently is the Northern Ninetales, Firebolts with 0-1 in -3 differential, and all the rest, the San Antonio Jolteons, the Sydney Sylveons, and the Maryland Manectrics, in a 3-way tie on the other end. For 6th place with 0-1 -4 differential.
For first week of draft, this is a really solid spread. This isn't so high where there's a big gap you have to worry about, especially for week 1. This is very much anyone's game. The people who did get their first victory can't just sit on their laurels and relax. They gotta be ready for their second week, especially if they're going up against one of the teams that lost this first week, because they are going to be very adamant to try and get that victory and get that differential back up.
Yeah, and all of these wins were all 3-0s and 4-0s, so not even a 5-0 or and also no one got completely sweeps. So you said, this can go anywhere. No one's out of the game yet. Anything is possible. Literally 1 decent win and your differential's back in a positive, or 1 unfortunate loss and your positive differential dips down below negative.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Predictions. I think. Kracked Kricketunes has a pretty scary draft, and it's definitely something you need to be prepared for, but it's not impossible, especially if they do kind of opt to run with the similar strategy. You kind of build around that, so that's something that you have to be careful with. But aside from that, I expect to see honestly a lot more just differentials fluctuating all throughout this draft league. Yeah. Any predictions on your part?
Spood's currently in the 4th position, and I feel he can play well enough that he could be a real contender to snipe the top seeds for playoffs. It doesn't really matter this season since we don't have buys, But for pride,
Right.
it's like the possibility is there.
Pride is always the
good-
main factor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there is still like it could go like any way, but like I feel Spoods has that. It's got that dog in him,
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the weekly recap of Skull Division. If you are curious how some of the other divisions are doing, you can check out our recaps of Aqua, Magma, and Rocket as well. If you want to hear more from me, what's division? It would be Magma. Yeah, if you want to hear more from your boy Bayou Bellybolts, feel free to watch the Magma division.
If you want to watch some more of me, go watch the Aqua Division, and if you hate both of us, go watch Rocket.
Yeah, that's fine. You can hate both of us. It's okay. I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah. And with that, we will see y'all back next week for week 2.
Yeah. Goodbye.